Hello, everybody, and welcome to Off Script. I'm Bruce Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news tonight. WUSA 9 has learned that a federal grand jury has returned indictments that are certain to shake up the district's entertainment industry. One employee and a former employee have been named along with operators of some of this city's biggest and most popular nightclubs. Now, according to the indictment, which has been obtained, seen, checked over by WUSA 9, these men engaged in this conspiracy since at least 2012. Vincent Slater, a senior revenue officer with the Office of Tax and Revenue Structure, he's accused of taking thousands of dollars in bribes to reduce the tax bills of the nightclub owners. Prosecutors say he literally went into the city's computer system to reduce their tax bills. Anthony Merritt, a former employee in the D.C. Consumer and Regulatory Affairs Office, he's accused of being a co-conspirator. Prosecutors say he acted as a middleman. The indictment names Andre De Moya, who owned an interest in Eden Lounge, Cafe Asia, and Echo Stage. Echo Stage, one of the largest, most popular clubs in all of the city. Also named Charles Zhu, who owned an interest in Muse nightclub, and Arman Amir Shahi, who owned an interest in Barcode nightclub and the Late Lounge. Now, prosecutors say in one instance, the tax bill for one of the nightclubs was reduced from $250,000 to a mere $40,000. In exchange for the reduction, the city tax official, Vincent Slater, was paid kickbacks that amounted to nearly $200,000. Again, all this according to the indictment. Now, a short time ago, we obtained a response from the city's chief financial officer, Jeffrey DeWitt. In a letter, he confirms that Vincent Slater, described as a former supervisory revenue officer, has been arrested by federal authorities for fraudulently reducing business sales and use tax liability for several businesses. He also says the arrest follows an audit by the office that lasted some 2 years and 9 months. DeWitt adds the investigation continues tonight. He also confirms that a Bobby Tucker, a former Office of Tax Revenue employee, is alleged to have paid bribes to reduce the tax bill of a client.